Hello and welcome to a slightly different Confessions of a Refashionista video. Today I'm not going to be sharing a traditional DIY, but instead I am going to let you in on some of my frugal, sustainable lifestyle living, money saving tips and tricks for life in the big city. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you already know that I rather recently returned to my home country of Canada after living and working abroad for over 2 decades, for 22 years. I lived in Tokyo, Japan, Berlin, Germany, London, England, and also in Greece on groovy little islands. Now, here we are to making this video because I know there are a lot of you out there living in big cities across the world, and you are in similar, if not in the exact same situation as me, where you do not have outside help, you do not have a kind of big paycheck coming in at the end of every month that covers everything, and you really are hustling to make ends meet. So this video is from me to you. I really hope it does help, and yeah, let's get to my groovy tips and tricks. Let's start with monthly living expenses. Now, this is something that a lot of people do struggle with, including myself, as I said, and these are things that really can put a lot of strain on your bank account and also make your stress levels go way through the roof. So something that I have found, and again, this is in every major city that I have lived in. Of course, living close to downtown, right downtown, or in a funky area surrounding downtown is, awesome. And that's where all the cool stuff is happening. Unfortunately, it also has the highest rents. Of course it does. So by simply living a bit further out, you don't even have to live a lot further out, you will be saving loads of money per month. So as an example, in Toronto right now, the cost of a studio or 1-bedroom apartment close to downtown in a funky area or right downtown costs the same as a 3-bedroom house with attached garage and front and back yards in an area a bit further out. So really, you kind of have to set your priorities a little bit and think to yourself, do you want to be throwing all of that money to rent to live downtown, or maybe living a bit further out? Again, not a whole loads further out, just a bit further out, will definitely save you hundreds, if not thousands, in rental costs. Now, thanks to the rise of the internet, there are wonderful sites that you can visit like walkscore.com, and this has been a total lifesaver for me here in Toronto. It's pretty much worldwide, so all you do when you're looking for a rental property is type in the address, and walkscore.com will show you the walk score. And that can be, of course, anything from 0 to 100%. But what exactly does that mean? Well, my lovelies, it tells you how close it is to walk to all of the things that you might find necessary. So for me, it's very important to be within walking distance to a good school for my kiddo, to supermarkets, to parks, transportation, public transportation, of course. And where I am currently living actually said it had a walk score of about 85, but I kind of take that with a grain of salt because I would personally give it a walk score of over 95 because I can literally within minutes walk to supermarkets, my kids' school, public transportation, parks, like everything is pretty much around here. Now, as I said, we absolutely do not live downtown or even super near to downtown. If we take public transportation, it is about about, say, 40 minutes to an hour to get right to the heart of downtown. But if we take the GO train, which is like the bullet train, which is the express train, it takes only about 20 minutes from where we are. So again, that's totally fine. And the amount that we save in rent definitely helps pay for other bills. Speaking of transportation, not having a vehicle definitely saves a load of money. So not only are you not paying for the vehicle initially, but you also do not have the maintenance costs, the gas, the oil, all of that, plus the insurance. Now, most major cities do have pretty darn good public transportation. And not only that, they also offer discounted fares for low-income families. Now, here in Toronto, you can apply for a discounted Presto card. Now, of course, you do have to prove that you have a low income, but again, not too difficult to prove that if it's true. So yeah, you get your discounted Presto card. Really does help. Now, I do know that these schemes exist in other major cities across the world because I actually still have my one that I had in Berlin. Now, this not only worked for discounts on public transportation, it's my picture, but it also gave my family and I discounts to the zoo, to museums, to kind of functions that were around, swimming pools. There was loads of stuff that we could do at a discount because we had the Berlin Pass. And again, all you have to do is search the internet, and all of these wonderful discounts for low-income families will be given to you in the search. Now, I'm sure there's some people out there going, oh, but what if you need a vehicle for something? What do you do? Well, if we absolutely need to take a vehicle somewhere, we call an Uber or a Lyft. Again, that is the beauty of technology and apps, is there's usually an app that can sort out the problem you may be having. That said, I actually haven't had a car for years and years and years and years because I do live in major cities, and I do find that the public transportation is pretty darn awesome. And the only reason that I ever have needed a vehicle is if I was moving, and then I simply hire, the cheapest moving company that I can afford, and if I need a vehicle to get somewhere for whatever reason, like I said, Uber or Lyft. Speaking of discount cards and discount rates and coupons and all of that, absolutely sign up for any kind of supermarket discount points cards or anything like that. With our Cineplex Scene cards, we actually get a free movie every 3 months or so simply by shopping in other stores that are connected to it and, presenting our card. We collect the points and we get a free adult movie entrance, which is great. Again, supermarket cards are fantastic. Every few months, we do get discounts on our groceries that way. Of course, if your local secondhand store has a discount card, you want to grab that as well. And yeah, it's just, they really do make not a huge difference, but every little bit helps when you have a low income and a tight budget, right? Now, for supermarket shopping, absolutely, those weekly flyers are your friend. Now, I actually go through them all, and the ones that I can easily get to that are in walking distance or an easy bus ride away, I actually go through and I circle all of the good deals, make my very specific list so I can stick to my tight food budget. But yes, flyers are fantastic. So if you do have a tight budget, or even if you don't have a tight budget, my huge recommendation for not going over your budget is to not have credit cards. I don't have credit cards, and a lot of people are shocked about that, but I really don't see any need whatsoever to have credit cards. If I don't have the money to spend on something, I don't buy it. It's that simple. And it really has helped me throughout the years to not go into super amazing, ridiculous, insane debt like I hear about so many people in the world just having credit card after credit card after credit card to pay off the credit cards that they already had. So yeah, this is my major tip here. Get rid of your credit cards. Don't have credit cards. And yeah, if you don't have the money to spend, don't spend it. Welcome to my cozy little laundry room. Now, anyone who actually has their own washing machine, or in their rental property there is a washer and dryer like in ours, you know that doing laundry really is an electricity sucker. Now, where we live in Toronto, in Ontario, in Canada, they have on-peak and off-peak hours for electricity. So we always do our laundry during the off-peak hours, and that means in the kind of late evening, nighttime, weekends, and on public holidays. Usually I do all of the laundry on a Saturday, or try to get most of it done on a Saturday or Sunday. And usually I do between 3 and 5 loads of laundry per week. And I really have noticed that keeping it in the off-peak hours absolutely does help cut down on the electricity bill. Another fantastic way to cut down on laundry living costs is to buy a laundry bar instead of those huge bottles of awful detergent that is full of disgusting toxic chemicals. This has 3 ingredients in it, and yeah, I can pronounce all of them, and it only costs $1.59. Now, this one bar, I actually got 2 a few months ago because I wasn't sure how long they were going to last. Now, this bar I've been using for about 5 months, and I still have this much left. So yeah, that definitely lasts longer than those big jugs of yucky detergent. And like I said, I can pronounce the 3 ingredients on this lovely little soap bar, and it smells wonderful and lemony. Also, another fantastic way to cut down on laundry costs and those toxic chemicals is to make your own fabric softener. And this is so super easy. It is half vinegar, half water, a little bit of my favorite essential oil, which of course is lemongrass, and a tiny squeeze of hair conditioner, and it absolutely gets rid of any static cling, putting that little bit of hair conditioner in there. I will put the links to all these tutorials down below, up above, somewhere here. But yeah, so in total, this costs less than 50 cents for 2 liters to make. And the laundry bar, again, $1.59, and it has lasted for over 5 months, still have a good chunk of it left. Now you may be wondering just how in the heck do you use a laundry bar? Well, it's very simple. You need a little cheese grater, your laundry bar, and then all you have to do is grate 1, 2, and 3, and that's it. That's all the laundry bar that I use for full loads of laundry. Once you've added your laundry soap to your washing machine, simply pop it in some Tupperware and store it until you're ready for your next load of laundry. Another money-saving tip is to always do full loads of laundry. Now, because most of us aren't walking around in filthy, dirty clothing, there really is absolutely no reason to be washing in hot, cold, or warm, warm, or warm, cold. If your clothes are especially kind of stained or dirty, go ahead and give them a bit of a pre-wash or a pre-soak in the sink in hot or warm water. But again, another great way to save money is to always wash in cold, plus full loads. And I always actually wash on the lightest setting because, like I said, our clothes are not filthy. And again, they don't need to actually be overwashed, which will destroy them in the long run. So let's talk about utility bills for a sec. You know, gas, electricity, all the stuff that you kind of need to live. Now, in all of the major cities that I have lived in throughout Europe, Asia, North America, they have offered discounted rates on utility bills for low-income households. All you have to do is search the net for your city, your area, and the particular utility bill. And if they do offer a discounted rate, apply for it. And yeah, if your application is successful, you will get a credit on your bill, which is fantastic. And again, every little bit does help when you have a low income. We keep our heat below 20, usually somewhere in between 15 and 20, and we only actually heat the house if we absolutely need it. Most of the time, if the weather is mild outside, we have our heat off. At nighttime, we shut the heat off completely, unless, of course, it is incredibly cold outside, you know, minus 30, minus 40, then we will turn it right down and keep it at 10 degrees during the night and bundle up with a bunch of cozy quilts. And for anyone who thinks I do not live in a cold climate in the winter time, this is today. It is about minus 20 and kind of blizzardy. So yeah, turning the heat way down or even having the heat off definitely means lots of cozy sweaters and blankets, etc., etc. Entertainment is usually quite a big expense. Now, of course, it kind of differs depending on your age and your lifestyle and if you have kids or you don't have kids. So I'm kind of going to be talking about my own situation, but a lot of this can be applied to just about anyone as well. Now, luckily here in Toronto, there are quite a few free events that go on. So all I have to do is search online, see what events are happening, and yeah, the kiddo and I can head on over there and do something totally for free. And again, in major cities across the world, these are things that happen all the time. Your local libraries are always a fabulous resource for free activities, especially for older people and for kids. Also, if you have community centers in your city, be sure to check out the websites and see what sort of free classes and courses they may offer. My kiddo has taken cooking classes, karate classes, arts classes, and even dance classes with absolutely no cost. And she really enjoys them, and it really is a fantastic service. And again, this isn't just for low-income families. If these free courses are offered, anybody can take part in them, which is great. You can also check out your city's parks and recreation website, channel, call them, whatever they might have, and ask if they offer any sort of credits for the paid courses for low-income families. That is something else that is offered in Toronto, which again, of course, you have to prove that you are a low-income family, but then once you do get a credit on your account, and then your kiddo or yourself can take the paid-for courses such as swimming lessons, which is, again, fantastic. Most major cities do have little local freebie neighborhood papers, and that's another great place to check for any sort of local to you free events that might be happening that are probably within walking distance to your house. Now, another great place to check for discounted or free events is, of course, going to the actual websites of the places you want to go. So if you want to hit up a museum, go and check. Maybe they have a free evening or they have discounted tickets. The same with the zoo, with water parks, every type of activity. Probably on their website, they have either freebie days or discount coupons or days that you can then grab your kiddos or yourself or your buddies and head on over and save some money and have a good time. Another major monthly expense that I completely avoid is cable television, because seriously, there is no reason to have cable television anymore at all. As they say, cut the cord. I have Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. So really, you have literally thousands, if not millions, of documentaries, TV series, movies, you name it, to choose from, as well as lots of original programming that you are not going to see on cable. Now, if you are looking for something even cheaper than that, go ahead and just stick with your internet, and YouTube is, of course, a fantastic wealth of free entertainment that, if you got an internet connection, you have entertainment pretty much. But yeah, another big expense gone. Cut that cable TV cord and either just stick to strictly internet entertainment or Netflix and Amazon Video. Let's talk about money-saving tips for beauty and bathroom from my bathroom. So one of the biggest expenses that we have is, of course, our hair, our lovely locks. I've actually been dyeing my own hair since I was a teenager, and it's been every color under the sun. And I'll put the tutorial below for how to go from dark hair to blonde hair without damaging it too much. Now, since I've had long hair, and I've had long hair for about a decade, maybe a bit less now, I've actually been cutting my own hair as well. So I have literally saved thousands of dollars. Now, my favorite hair color is L'Oreal, and I find the L'Oreal preference to be very gentle on my hair. Now, because I only have to do my roots now, it's very easy to do, and my hair does unfortunately grow quite fast, so I do have to get one of these on it every 2 weeks or so. But it is definitely cheaper to buy a box of dye than it is to hit the salon and spend a couple $100s. This is about $10. So pretty darn cheap compared to $200. Now, next, like I said, for about a decade-ish, I have been trimming my own hair. Because I have it long, it makes it a lot easier. Now, of course, those of you with shorter hair, you probably got to bite the bullet and hit the salon, unless you have extreme talent for cutting your own hair. I had very short hair and pixie cuts till I was about 35, 36 years old, and I did always have to go to the salon to get the haircuts and trims. But since having it long, I find that I am able to easily do it myself. And of course, I did share the tutorial over on the blog. I will put the link down below in the video, somewhere around here. And all I use to cut my hair are these fabulous hair cutting scissors that I got from eBay in Germany literally years ago. And they're still fantastic to make my hair a bit thinner, because I do have very thick hair. I also got thinning shears. These two together were under 10 euros. And like I said, I have had them for about a decade now. So well worth that money spent. Another fab way to save a bit of money, not tons. I mean, it all depends on your favorite products. But I found that making my own toothpaste not only means that I know exactly what's in it and I can pronounce everything that is in this, but it also does save me money. And I also, of course, use bamboo toothbrushes because they are just fantastic for the environment and very sustainable. Now, for my DIY toothpaste, all it is 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, a tablespoon of baking soda, and about 10 drops of peppermint oil. And it smells great. My teeth are fantastic. Absolutely no problems at the dentist. If you do want to add about a teaspoon of xylitol powder, you can if it makes you feel better about brushing and making your own toothpaste. I don't, and my teeth are perfect and gleaming white, and I have very fresh breath because I choose the amount of peppermint oil that goes into it, and I know exactly how much I need to keep my breath fresh for a long time. Are you loving my upcycled medicine cabinet? Again, tutorial is of course over on the blog, but yeah, I found this in the trash and then transformed it into the beauteous cabinet you see before you today. Let's see what's inside. Oh, alrighty, more cheap and cheerful DIY beauty coming at you. Now, I have rosacea, which means that I have incredibly sensitive skin that doesn't like any product ever. Trust me, I have tried them all. I even have a section on my blog all about all the different rosacea products I have tried. So I ended up going to the doctor, and I have my prescription here for Metro Gel 1%. I've now been using this for over a year, and it really, really does work for my skin and keeps those awful rosacea pustules away. This costs about $50, and according to the instructions, it is supposed to last 2 to 3 months. I managed to stretch this little bottle out, and mine last for 6 to 7 months. Because I do not use the recommended 2 to 3 pumps, I simply use 1 pump and put it only on the affected areas, not all over my face. Because I have such sensitive skin, to remove my makeup, I really can't use any kind of over-the-counter store-bought products at all. I can only use coconut oil, and I find this to be the most gentle way for me to remove my makeup. It doesn't cause any reactions whatsoever, and once I rub this all over my face, I use my little DIY flannel towelettes to then wipe off my makeup and then give it a nice rinse with some warm water, and yeah, that's about it. Now, the difference between my coconut oil and a lot of the oil that other vloggers kind of tout is that mine's just simply the stuff you get in the supermarket for about $2. In Europe, I actually would buy it in blocks for about 55 cents, but since returning to Canada, it does come in these kind of plastic jars for a couple dollars for about 500 grams. I then, of course, transfer it into my lovely little reusable glass jar here. And yeah, like I said, just simply scoop out a bit, melt it in my hands, wipe it all over my face, then wipe off the makeup, give it all a rinse. And yeah, makeup gone. And this also works great as a moisturizer, as well as if you need a treatment conditioner for the ends of your hair when they get very dry in the summer or winter. This works fab for that as well. And again, I simply use the supermarket stuff. It is 100% coconut oil. There's nothing added to it. Again, you can even get cold pressed, little bit fancier stuff at the supermarket if you want for a couple bucks more. But just, yeah, the $2 stuff works great for me. Now you may be wondering, just what do I use for moisturizer? Well, my lovelies, take a peek at this. Doesn't that look like a fancy little bottle? And it once did hold kind of fancy stuff, but now it just has plain old supermarket 100% olive oil. And that is exactly what I use for face moisturizer. Just a squirt or two of supermarket olive oil. That's it. And it works fantastic. You can also add your favorite essential oil scent to it and use it as a body moisturizer if you want. I've done that before and it works fantastic, and it does really help to keep especially feet nice and silky smooth in the summertime for sandal weather. Another crazy simple and crazy cheap DIY alternative to store-bought is dry shampoo. I have been using this stuff for years, and the tutorials on the blog, I'll put the link somewhere around here again for you guys. Now, this is crazy simple to make with items you probably already have in your kitchen, and it really does work. Plus, you add a couple drops of your fave essential oil, and it smells divine. Now, this one kind of reused spice jar lasts a couple years for me, so that's a really long time for a product that probably costs less than 25 cents to make. Now, if you're not so into using supermarket oil as moisturizer, you can DIY your own moisturizers and lotions and potions from items that you can buy in a health food store, as well as bits you may already have in your kitchen. And yeah, these are a couple that I made, and I'll again put the links somewhere for you guys. And all of these recipes are also available in my Sustainable Lifestyle ebook. Now, something else that's crazy easy to make from items you already have in your own kitchen is your very own personalized tinted lip balm. And again, this costs literally pennies to make. And of course, the recipe is still in my Sustainable Lifestyle Handbook. Now, we kind of all know by now that deodorants have a lot of unnecessary toxic chemicals in them, which is why I started making my own. And it smells great. Now, again, this is crazy easy to make from items that, of course, you may already have in your kitchen, just like everything else. And again, it costs pennies to make, and this really does work. Now, on to bathing. Something that really is unnecessary is using all of those expensive bottled body washes. Returning to using bar soap has absolutely saved us money. And not only that, but it's also so much better for the environment because, as you can see, barely any packaging to recycle. And you can get them in so many different scents. You can totally understand and read all of the ingredients that are in bar soaps, most of the time anyway. Plus, you use about 7 times less bar soap than bottled body washes. So in the long run, not only are you saving money when you initially buy them, but if they're lasting up to 7 times longer, you're also saving money in the long run. Now, on a bit more of a serious note, for some reason, I often get comments and emails pointing out the fact that I seem to always have really nice painted fingernails in my videos and in my photos, and I must frequently go for manicures. That's not true at all. Zero. I never get manicures. I do all of this myself, which is why they actually don't ever look professional and fabulous. But on the weekends, it is something kind of special that my kiddo and I can do together. And we set up our own little mini spa. And for an hour or two, we can do each other's nails and hair and makeup. And yeah, it's a totally free activity that we can do together and have some mommy and kiddo time. And it's a lot of fun. And yeah, again, totally free. Now, this would not be a Confessions of a Refashionista money-saving tips video without mentioning shopping, of course. And where do I shop? Why, darlings, of course at thrift stores, charity stores, and secondhand shops. Now, these are the best places to save money on pretty much everything for your household, clothing for your family, accessories, you name it, they got it. But if you literally don't want to spend a penny, hit up some of the swaps in your neighborhood or your city. Every single major city in the world now has swaps. Eco everything is everywhere. So all you have to do is search swaps in your area and probably something or other is going to come up. And I can pretty much guarantee more often than not, you're going to find more than one swap that you can head on over to and trade the stuff you no longer want for items that you absolutely do want. You can even do swaps yourself with your friends and family. And that's a fantastic way to clear out, again, the stuff you don't want and give it to someone who does want it, plus then get stuff that you actually do want in your wardrobe and in your house. Now, if you still aren't into doing anything like that, head on over to my Confessions of a Refashionista site. I have loads of thrifting tips and of course upcycling DIYs, refashioning tutorials, sustainable lifestyle tips and tricks, and so much more. You can pick up my very, very reasonably priced $3 ebooks over there, and yeah, you can even buy some of my makes in my fancy new Refashionista boxes that start from only $35 Canadian, including the shipping cost. So yeah, I shall see you over at awesomesauce@hattery.com, Confessions of a Refashionista. And until next time, I'll catch you on the zigzag.